Hey everyone, welcome back to Coach Quip. I'm Coach Robyn.
I'm Coach Chris.
And today we are talking about small daily discomforts and why you need them. You're like, what is that? We recently did a newsletter on small daily discomforts. I love James Clear. Shout out Atomic Habits. I love his weekly newsletter. If you don't subscribe to it, you should. It comes out every Thursday. I really read and reread this idea about what a small daily discomfort is and how much they matter to us, right? And I love the fact that you even have something to call by means that it's a lot more likely to get done. So first up, what the heck is this thing? It's something that you do during your day. Not all the time, that would be too much. That is not the easy way out, right? It's intentionally not choosing the easy way to become a slightly smaller, better version of yourself.
Mm-hmm. I've heard this through Tim Ferriss also had a lot of this information in his book 4 Hour Work Week in 4 Hour Body, like his 4 hour series, about putting yourself in situations where you are slightly uncomfortable so that rejection becomes easier.
Yeah.
And dealing with, all the BS in the world just is kind of less impactful to you because you're accustomed to it.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, humans, I'd love to say this isn't true. It is. Humans, adults especially, will always take the easy way out. Like, that is what we are accustomed to do. Mm-hmm. So small daily discomforts are basically recognizing, like in an instance, that you're not taking the easy way out and choosing the path of slightly more resistance or friction.
Mm-hmm. But what's the benefit of choosing that?
The benefit is that we actually can grow, is that we like that friction just a little bit at a time.
Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, I think that runners, triathletes, cyclists are accustomed to this already.
I agree.
Right? Like, we put ourselves in situations willingly to do speed work, to do tempo work, to put ourselves in those uncomfortable situations. And taking that idea outside of training is really interesting because it can make your life a lot better.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it. Like, naturally, a lot of people that are listening to this right now are probably thinking, I already do that. And it's true. And some of our examples that we'll go over from our coaches are for during training, but there's a lot that happens before and after that can really amplify what you're already doing and, frankly, just maybe make you a happier person. We're going to straight up read from James Clear's initial newsletter on small daily discomforts. All right. Practice the art of small daily discomforts. Modern life is optimized for convenience and comfort. Your food can be delivered straight to your door. True. Your car seats can be heated. Your favorite show is available at the press of a button.
We all enjoy convenience and comfort, myself included, but our bodies and souls yearn for challenge. We want to be stretched. A deeper satisfaction awaits after pushing yourself to learn a challenging concept, or complete a humbling workout, or have an important but difficult conversation.
So should the whole day feel difficult? No, I don't think it's necessary. But a good day, a meaningful and fulfilling day, requires small moments of discomfort. Growth demands discomfort. We need something to push against to learn how strong we can become.
I love it.
I think that's true, though. Growth does demand discomfort, whether you're training for, your first bike race or you're just trying to get stronger on any level. You have to have a level of discomfort in order to kind of get to the next level.
Yeah, this reminds me of a book that I read that was called Always Take the Stairs. And that's like a daily, I just thought of this now, a small daily discomfort that I have adopted into my life that, the premise is like, yes, you can take the escalator, you can take the elevator, you can take the easy way, but always take the stairs when you have the opportunity because there's better things on the other side of that. So that's a practice that I try to do as an example to kick us off.
So we actually asked our edge coaches this question and they came back with some pretty great answers. So the rest of this episode is all about telling you all theirs. And then when we sent this newsletter out, I had actually said, and it's still valid for the rest of July, so if you got it, you can also reply to this. I said, reply back to me with what your small daily discomfort is, and I will honor this to you as well. In July, I will give you a day pass or a class pass, and you can come on in, but you got to email me back. You can also DM me and tell me it too. But it has been so cool seeing these come through.
Yeah, I'm curious what our athletes are saying.
They are saying a lot of similar things as what our coaches are saying.
Yeah, well, let's go through what our coaches are saying.
All right, my first one is very specific, but I was taking a class a few weeks ago with Coach Jace. It was a Saturday, and I would say that I crammed a strength class in on a Saturday, which I'm not always able to do. He is very strong, and he demoed a plank push-pull with a 65-pound kettlebell. And, I did the first round, and then I looked, and he looked at me, and he's like, do you want it? And I was joking, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. And not only did I do it, but I really liked it. Oh. So I went from 40 to 65. I would have never thought to do that. But it took me, I joked that it was 45 seconds of my whole day. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the weekend, I was like, I can do hard shit. Yeah. it was the coolest thing. And I will say that since then, I have been grabbing heavier kettlebells.
I love that. Yeah. That's great. I'm going to look for that in my class.
Uh-oh.
Coach Kat said, coming up half a mile short on my run and needing to be done and knowing when to call it. So my assumption here is that the discomfort is not seeing the full workout done on your watch and having the confidence and having the dedication to yourself to just cut the run short when you need to. That is uncomfortable for a lot of people.
A lot of type A endurance athletes.
Ooh, yeah. I will see people who will, run an extra block and around the block and around their car to get the numbers.
Yeah,
exactly. So there's something really powerful about being able to sit with that level of discomfort, but honoring your body.
And Coach Jeremiah actually had one that was similar. So he also tries, like most coaches are trying to set the standard, and I believe he was doing this with other athletes. He was doing a workout, but he had to stop it because he was feeling some pain. And he's like, normally I'd push through, but it's you kind of have to set that example and make sure that you honor, where you're at or what's actually happening.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable to feel like you can't finish something.
Yeah, it is, especially if you're the one setting the standard. But yeah. Be safe, right?
Yeah.
And know when to call it.
That's a great standard to set. Coach Cass said drinking ginger in the morning.
With a vomit emoji.
Yeah.
When she submitted
it. I thought you put
that. No, Cass did. Yeah, it was really funny when she sent it over. I mean, I think this is so good, though, because I like that she's doing it in the morning so that she's almost banking her small daily discomfort.
Yeah.
I know we have athletes that also do this with shots of apple cider vinegar. It doesn't taste great, but it's going to hopefully elevate and amplify their training and their health. And so that's a great one. All right. Coach Patty also gave a super great example that was recent for her. So she basically talked about adapting the workout to get it done. That it was going to be uncomfortable regardless. And side note is, don't be surprised by the quality you get out. So she actually had limited time to get a bike workout in, and she's like, oh no. So she had to ride from home to Edge and then back up to Uptown. So she adapted her route to be able to get enough in, right? So making that commute work, and then did some red light intervals to get enough of an actual workout at the end. She was able to get through her zones appropriately. And it was funny because when she was done, she was like, oh man, I got it done. Her trainer road account actually flagged that the workout was actually too hard. Oh. So even though she did it, she adapted it and made sure that she could get it done during her commute. She was able to do it almost beyond quality, which really surprised her.
Another small daily discomfort that folks can do. Coach Dearmid gave this one back when we did our 5-minute tips from our coaches. A great episode. You should definitely check that one out. He said, go to bed 5 minutes earlier. So we always talk about how sleep is your number one recovery tool, and it is uncomfortable to leave your recreation, your nighttime routine, and get in bed and go to sleep. Giving up that time, quote unquote giving up that time, but really you're investing in yourself by doing that, but it can be uncomfortable to shift your bedtime. So this is a great one.
This is one that Brian and I will negotiate a lot. If we had a long day and we ate and then we're like, all right, we're going to watch a 20-minute Modern Family or whatever. Sometimes I say to him, I'm like, no, let's not go for the be vegetables and just let's start getting ready for bed, right? And that's it. I remember reading James Clear's stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, it is true. I mean, we will opt for the couch.
Yep.
Even though we know the bed's better for us.
Yeah.
Coach Berkeley is busy. She travels for work. She is always on the go. I really liked this one, which was she's traveling for work, right, when I asked her this week, and she knows she needs to somehow fit in a work day or workout during the workday, so she's having to get up very early with a time difference before meetings. And it is extra work, but inevitably you are going to have a more productive and happier day because you got your workout in. And as a side note as well, she said, like, trying to eat healthy while traveling. That's another one. Like, even if you get it for one meal, making sure that you're getting things in that you know are going to sustain you. You're already traveling, you're already working. Do the small daily discomfort of getting in your workout and having a little bit more healthier food intake. You're going to be better overall. My other one is literally from this week. Is I realized very quickly on Wednesday that I was going to be able to run much more easily from a programming standpoint at 2 p.m. versus 12:30 p.m. just because I had calls in between. So I headed out at 2 p.m. and 90 degrees. I knew what I was getting into, and it was a hot 90. So I joke a lot about like my heat monster, but what I know is that I'm getting better in the heat, and that by facing it, one, it's not a surprise. I'm going to slow down and have a water bottle, right? But by banking that discomfort, I kept thinking, I'm like, well, I'm pretty uncomfortable right now, but subsequent runs are going to feel easier, and it makes it just more approachable. It did help that I did this with other people. Side note, This is easier to conquer, to convince other idiots to run at 2 p.m. At 90 degrees. Shout out to my husband. But it really does help. And, it fortified me then to have more daily discomforts like that in the future and be able to face them.
Coach Cass says, lifting late in the evening after a long day because something is better than nothing. And I love this one. It's so, you said we opt for the couch, and it's so easy to be like, well, the day is done. I'm too tired. I didn't eat. I have no energy. But again, like going from, maybe you don't do the whole 30 minutes, but you scale it like Coach Patty did, and you bring that down. She got something in, she kept the momentum going, got to check that box.
This is an interesting one for all my coaches out there, or people that have coaches. Just stay with me for a second. We've talked about this before. When you coach a fair amount of classes or strength sessions, at the end of the day, sometimes you feel like you worked out. You did not actually work out. Like, it is so bizarre. Sometimes when I coach track, I'm down the track and I'm like, whoa! And I'm like, girl, you didn't even run a quarter mile. You just stood and yelled numbers. So I usually try to do a run after, but it's a big thing to lift late for a coach who's had a heavier load, because they literally feel like they worked out for hours and they in fact haven't made any good deposits. So Shout out, good job, Cass.
And I know Coach Cass does those early classes too, so I feel that.
Yes, the late is truly late. Coach Jeremy has another workout one. This one is a completely different workout day. So he did a hybrid workout. So he had some lifting, had some cardio. He was completing on his own, which makes the small daily discomfort maybe a little bit more uncomfortable. He wanted to take shortcuts, right? And no one's watching, right? Like, who's accountable? No one. Again, adults are always going to take the easy road out, but he didn't. So he had to really keep talking himself out of it, though. Like, especially when he was on one of the curved treadmills that's self-powered. That's like discomfort on discomfort. Mm-hmm. But he finished and did it. Of course, he wasn't in pain this time. And he finished it knowing that he had deposited and felt pretty damn good about himself.
All right, next up is Coach J-Row. Oh, this is a good one.
This might be my favorite one because it should resonate with every single one of you.
Yeah. Doing my mobility when feeling A-OK so that I stay feeling good.
You're doing the discomfort before the discomfort.
It's so good. But that little discomfort can prevent a lot of discomfort through injury, so this one is brilliant.
And save money.
Yeah, so much money.
So much money. Yeah. And Coach Cass has one more. I love this one because I'm a little bit of a neat freak. Washing the dishes after cooking. This is, for me, if I walk by the sink or I walk by the stove and it's on there, every single time I see it, I'm like, wash that, gotta wash that, gotta wash that. If I would have just washed it to begin with, I would have saved all of that rumination. And I love waking up and having things clean. So if you want to come to do my dishes, you're also welcome. But I do like this one because you've already done the cooking. You're going to now wrap it up and you feel good.
Feel great. Yeah. All right. My one that I originally was going to say before I thought of all these ones along the way is flossing my teeth.
Do you do it every day?
I will admit that I don't, but I went to the dentist yesterday, so now I am.
They look good.
Thank you. So I remember a long time ago hearing someone say, I'm the type of person who, and
they said
this example was, I'm the type of person who flosses my teeth, because if you take the extra step to do that, when brushing your teeth you can get away with, right? That's fine. That's enough for most people. But if you take that extra step to floss your teeth, There's like a lot of studies. I'll find a study and post it about if you floss your teeth, you have better health outcomes generally because you are attentive to the rest of
because you're the type of person who.
Because you're the type of person who. So I use that, like, I'm the type of person who flosses my teeth, and if I don't want to do it, I tell myself that so that I do my small daily dose of discomfort. It doesn't hurt to floss my teeth. It's just annoying. It's just it's just time kill. I don't know why I don't like it so much, but
I like how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
But it is, especially when you're going to bed or in the morning, a lot of times I'm like anxious to go to bed or I'm rushing, right? So it's maybe something you could habit stack.
Yeah. Maybe I try to go to bed 5 minutes earlier so that I can floss my teeth and not feel stressed about it. I love this episode. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
this is great.
I don't think we're going to top the flossing my teeth one.
Well, that's a great place to end then. So as Coach Robyn mentioned, what are your small daily doses of discomfort that you are taking, that you are doing? If you drop us a message,
if you DM us or email back with your small daily discomfort, I am happy to give you a recovery pass or a class pass. I know I said July. I'll extend it through August.
All right.
Just for you listeners. But truthfully, I love seeing these come pouring in, so send them our way.
All right.
Till next time.
Thanks for listening to Coach Quip. Original music performed by Ment. Follow us online on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Edge Athlete Lounge. Our podcast lives in the blog section of our website. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast, and you can check out the show notes for additional ways to contact us. Ready, set, onward we go.